Greetings, Vervoids. Hope you're having a good week so far, and I hope you all had a very good Christmas, despite the fact that there was no Doctor Who Christmas special yesterday. But, hey, at least we can all take comfort in the fact that there is going to be a New Year's special, so there you go. Anyway, so with that out of the way, let's take a look at the penultimate story of the Trial of a Time Lord arc with Terror of the Vervoids. As with the other serials from Season 23, Terror of the Vervoids is framed by the trial of the Doctor, prosecuted by the Valeyard, accusing him of meddling in other species' affairs in a way unbecoming of a Time Lord. In his defense, the Doctor presents evidence through a screen linked to the Matrix, showing the details of his actions on the space liner Hyperion 3 in his own personal future. The bulk of the episode centers on recorded narrative. On the Hyperion 3, an elderly man named Kimber thinks he recognizes a fellow passenger as an investigator called Hallett. However, the passenger claims that he is a mineralogist named Grenville. A trio of scientist passengers, Professor Lasky and her colleagues Bruckner and Doland, are alarmed that Grenville might be an investigator. Edward is, the communications officer, detects a craft close to the ship, the TARDIS, but is unable to get a reply. Suddenly, an unseen figure attacks him and injects him with a syringe. Ugh. He then uses the communication equipment to send a message to the TARDIS. On board, the Doctor and Mel pick up a Mayday message. They materialize within the Hyperion 3's cargo hold, are seized by guards, and are brought before Commodore Travers, whom the Doctor has met before. When? Travers denies sending a Mayday signal, but wants the Doctor and Mel to remain on board. Travers hopes that the Doctor will find out who sent the fake Mayday call. The Doctor is convinced that whoever sent the message wants him on board. Security Officer Rudge takes Mel to the ship's gymnasium, where he shows her how to use the headphones and tape recordings to help her exercise. Dolan informs Lasky that someone has broken into the hydroponics center. As they rush off to find Bruckner, Mel hears something on her headphones, telling her to take the Doctor to cabin 6. In the cargo hold, Lasky, Dolan, and Bruckner check the hydroponics center. The large pods inside are stable. The Demeter seeds have been stolen from the small work cabin. At cabin 6, the Doctor and Mel find the room has been wrecked and discover the silver Demeter seeds in a single boot. Rudge contacts Travers to inform him that there has been an accident in the waste disposal unit. Someone has been thrown inside. Dun dun dun. All that's left is a boot matching the one found by the Doctor and Mel in cabin 6. They learn that these belong to Grenville, but the Doctor does not recognize the name. Mel departs to investigate the hydroponics center alone. Not a good idea. Mel enters the cargo hold, where she meets Edwardus. He agrees to show her the hydroponics center. It was set up for the journey especially for Lasky, Doland, and Bruckner, and only that low-spectrum light is allowed inside to keep the pods dormant. When Edwardus tries to enter, he is electrocuted. Bomb, bomb, bomb! 2 guards arrive, and Mel tells them that Edwardus is dead. Later, Dolan and Bruckner arrive to find that all the pods have been opened. Roger brings the Doctor to the bridge to question Mel about being in the hydroponics center. Roger gets a message from the medical team that was sent down to the hold to collect Edwardus' body, claiming that Edwardus or the guard can be found. Travers decides to speed up their journey to Earth and has the ship's course altered. Few Morgarians express their concerns that this will take them close to the black hole of Tartarus, but Travers assures them that they will be within adequate safety margins. Later, one of the Morgarians collapses. The Doctor attempts to remove the figure's faceplate, but others protest that oxygen is lethal to a Morgarian. The Doctor believes it is not a Morgarian, and removes the faceplate to reveal that it is Grenville. Dun dun dun! The Doctor, however, recognizes the man as Hallett, an undercover investigator. When Kimber recalls recognizing Hallett before, the Doctor guesses that Hallett has faked his death to avoid being discovered. Interesting. Mel realizes that the Demeter seeds left in the wrecked cabin were a clue to lead them to the hydroponics center. They look at the place, and the Doctor wonders what came out of the pods. Returning to the passenger quarters, they see Lasky leaving a guarded isolation room. The Doctor and Mel enter the room, where they find a half-human, half-plant hybrid strapped to a table. Okay. The creature implores them to stop Lasky. Lasky, Bruckner, and Dolan sedate her. Dolan tells the time travelers that the creature is his assistant, Ruth Baxter. During their experiments involving cross-fertilization, pollen penetrated a scratch in Ruth's thumb, causing the resulting plant maturing process to partially transform her human body. They are taking her to Earth in the hope that they can reverse the infection. I don't know if that's possible, but okay then. Mel hears a noise in the air conditioning ducts, and overhears creatures planning to kill all the animal kind on the ship. As she listens, she is attacked and rendered unconscious. The murderer dumps her in a disposal trolley. The Doctor enters the gym and hears the recording, including her scream when she was attacked. The Doctor runs after the trolley and rescues her. Hooray! Bruckner has become increasingly hysterical about the situation with the hydroponics center, especially when Kimber disappears. It turns out that he, Vervoids, and the missing guard have been killed by giant plant-like creatures called Vervoids, the creatures that came out of the pods when Vervoids was electrocuted. Lasky finds Bruckner burning the notes on their work in the hydroponics center's small work cabin, tries unsuccessfully to reason with him. Bruckner knocks Lasky out, runs off and attacks the guard, taking his gun. He goes to the bridge and forces Travers and the pilot to leave, then changes the course to the Hyperion to head back into the black hole Tartarus, planning to destroy the ship. Oh no! The Doctor, Lasky, and Travers attempt to break into the bridge, but it is filled with marsh gas. This has been released into the bridge by the Vervoids, who learn that they are the only members of their species. Bruckner is killed by the gas, but the ship is still heading into the black hole. Rudd shows the two Morgarians, as they can breathe in the poisonous atmosphere. Well, that's convenient. They direct the ship away from the black hole, but when it is safe, Rudd tells Travers that he and the Morgarians are taking over the ship. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Mel warns Dolan and Janet of the hijacking. Rudd tells the Doctor that the Morgarians are trying to regain the supply of metal stored in the vault. Rudd is taking the hijacking as a means of securing a, quote, more comfortable retirement. This Mogar Earth journey was supposed to be his last voyage as a security officer before being written off. On the bridge, an unknown assailant kills the Morgarians. Well, that's just rude. Mel sneaks through the air ducts to let the Doctor know that the guards will attack the lounge. The Doctor believes this is too risky, and tells her to attack the bridge instead. When they arrive, they find the Morgarians dead, and take the faceplates to prove to Rudge the hijack is over. Dolan knocks the gun from Rudge's hands, and he runs into the corridors, but is killed by the Vervoids. Yay, I guess. The Doctor tells Travers about the stolen tape recording and requests permission to search the passenger cabins. When Mel checks Lasky's locker in the gym, the Doctor tells Dolan that he thinks the traitor is either him or Lasky. After searching the Professor's cabin, Dolan suggests the cabin in the Hydroponics Center work cabin. There, Dolan reveals the tape is in his pocket, but he has wiped it. Darn it! Taking the Doctor's gun, Dolan admits to the murders. Aha! I knew it! Or did I? I don't know. The Doctor has disarmed the gun, and Travers arrives and arrests Dolan. Yay! However, he and his guard are attacked and killed by the Vervoids. Aww! The Doctor, Mel, Travers, and Lasky meet to discuss the Vervoids. Lasky believes that something must have gone wrong with their DNA. The Doctor tells them that the Vervoids' hostility towards them is instinctive. The Vervoids hate animal kind and kill for survival. Lasky realizes that this is what made Bruckner so hysterical, and vows to help destroy the creatures. Okay. In the Hydroponics Center, Lasky finds that the chemicals to create herbicide have been taken by the Vervoids. She, Mel, and the Doctor are surrounded by the plants. Lasky tries to reason with them, but they kill her and take her body back to their lair. Escaping through the air ducts, Mel and the Doctor discover the pile of bodies. The Doctor has an idea that Venusium, the rare metal taken from Mogar stored in the ship's vault, will accelerate the Vervoid's life cycle towards its natural end. Travers lowers the lighting and heating in the ship, forcing the Vervoids back to their lair, where the Doctor and Mel are waiting. They deploy the metal against the Vervoids, which causes the creature's leaf-covered bodies to die. Having saved the survivors, the Doctor and Mel depart in the TARDIS. Back at the courtroom, the Inquisitor asks the Doctor if any of the Vervoids survive, and informs her that none did. If even a leaf had survived and reached Earth, a Vervoid would have grown. Seizing on this, the Valeyard accuses the Doctor of committing genocide. Bom, bom, bom. So with that out of the way, let's look at the production of this episode. The story segmented trial went through a number of commissions with writers including David Halliwell and Jack Trevor Story, working on separate but linked episodes. Christopher H. Bidmead and Peter J. Hammond, the creator of the cult science fiction fantasy series Sapphire and Steel. Hammond's story outline, titled Paradise 5, was liked by script editor Eric Sayward, but disliked by producer John Nathan Turner, who rejected it and commissioned Pip and Jane Baker to do the segment instead. Nathan Turner was also displeased with the appearance of the Vervoids, liking them to Labia. Hammond later wrote 2 episodes of the Doctor Who spin-off drama, Torchwood. Cool, I guess. Designed as a typical Agatha Christie murder mystery set on a space liner, the actual structure of the story, and its bubbly tone, are reminiscent of the series during Douglas Adams' tenure as script editor during season 17. In the first episode, Professor Lasky is briefly seen reading a copy of Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. A fine choice, sir. This series marked the last time the BBC Radiophonic Workshop provided a music score for the series. Elizabeth Parker was initially assigned to the episode, but some schedule shifts meant it ended up being done by Malcolm Clarke instead. Coincidentally, Clarke had done the Radiophonic Workshop's first Doctor Who score for the Sea Devils. As no individual title was used on screen or on the final scripts for this story, there has been some confusion over how to refer to the story. It was initially commissioned with the title of The Ultimate Foe. However, this title was later given to the novelization of the 13th and 14th parts of the season, whereas Pip and Jane Baker repeatedly referred to the story as the Vervoids in subsequent interviews, as have other production team members. But this title does not appear to exist on any contemporary documentation. When Target Books published Pip and Jaker's novelization, it was under the title of Terror of the Vervoids, which is now generally used to refer to the story. Honor Blackman later played Anahita in the 5th Doctor audio drama, The Children of Seth. So overall, I say this is a pretty interesting episode nonetheless, and as an introduction to the character of Mel, it's okay at best. So overall, I give Terror of the Vervoids 3 sonic screwdrivers out of 5. Well, join me next week as the Trial of a Time Lord story arc comes to a conclusion with The Ultimate Foe. So, until then, this is Hoovy Queen saying, "Oh my Gideons! When I say run, run! I have reversed the polarity of the neutron flow. Would you like a jelly baby? Fantastic! Allons-y! Geronimo!" Bow ties are cool, fezzes are cool, and Stetsons are cool.